Have you not listened to your elders, my friend?
I've listened to the elder, but I don't listen to.
Okay, you have.
Welcome to Right Between the Eyes podcast, a KISS podcast with 3 generations of KISS fans telling you why we love it loud.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Right Between the Eyes podcast, a KISS podcast with 3 generations of KISS fans telling you why we love it loud. I'm one of your hosts, Rob Myers, and welcome to RBTE KISS Tease. So this is a reply video, basically, to Brant over at In My Head. He just recently showed all of his KISS t-shirts. As you can see, I'm wearing an Office t-shirt right here. So why would I wear a KISS t-shirt when I'm going to show you them? I probably should. But anyway, Nick and Nico aren't here, so I'm using YouTube to try and lengthen our podcast just a little bit. We are 2 days away from the time I'm filming this on Monday. Wednesday, we are doing the next round of the Road to Rosemont series. So this is going to be a placeholder for our podcast. We do not have a new audio podcast set up yet. It's summertime. People are on vacations. So I thought, you know what? This would be a cool, fun video to do. Way to give you guys some content, exclusive YouTube content. And if you're an audio listener of the show, hopefully you enjoy these video episodes, if you will. So I've got the video all set, ready to go. There's really no other introduction other than I make mention in the video that you're getting ready to watch that I am missing one of my t-shirts. I couldn't find the one that I'm missing. I found 2 others. One that I remembered right before I got ready to shoot this video, this intro video, and I thought, I wonder where that shirt is. I found it, and then I found another shirt that I completely forgot I had, and I'm not even sure how or where I got it. So I'm going to show you the one that I remember, and I was going to do all these in chronological order on the video. You'll see that. So this would slip in right into the 1998 era of my t-shirts. So 98 tells you that it is Psycho Circus. So this is the artwork for the comic book series, and I can't remember where I got this from. I don't know if this was a Spencer's. This is probably a Spencer's gift or maybe Hot Topic. I can't quite remember. There is a back to it, which I thought was really pretty cool with the icon logos. But I always loved this front look. I loved the Psycho Circus comic series. And again, we've been talking about comic books on this podcast. So one of the next things that we would like to do in between some of the Rosemont episodes are some KISS comics, which is right in our wheelhouse, but more on that later. So there's one shirt I forgot. Now this one, I don't remember. I must have bought something from them, I think, or maybe it was KISS Army Warehouse, but it is from another KISS podcast, and I don't think this is... There's no date on it, but KISS FAQ, and what does it say? Click it up. That's really nice. Now play Love Gun. Something that Paul Stanley said in an interview once about playing, older songs. I have no idea how I got this shirt. I don't remember. I don't know if it was at a KISS convention that I went to and they were giving these away, or I have no idea. While I was looking for this one, the Psycho Circus, I found this. I'm still missing another shirt, but I do have an image of that shirt. So without further ado, this is a look at my KISS t-shirts. So it's concert t-shirts and just t-shirts. If it involves KISS, if it involves members of KISS, it counts in this video, and you will see. So grab a sandwich, maybe even a snack or some ice cream, because this video is a little long, about the same length as our normal podcast. So I'm not going to talk much here because this is going to be a show and tell episode. So this is the last time you will see this ugly mug. So without further ado, here is RBTE KISS Tease. Enjoy. Whoa, time out. I love editing stuff, and when I was putting those other shirts together, I got to thinking, I made mention of a shirt in this when you see one of my other shirts. Well, you'll see here. I made mention of Hot in the Shade. It didn't dawn on me at all. And then when I was putting those two shirts away that you just saw, I realized, holy crap, I have a Hot in the Shade t-shirt that I didn't show, that I didn't even remember that I had. Wow, this tells you that you have a lot of tees. So here is my Hot in the Shade t-shirt. I think this is from KOL. This might have been 2022, I believe. Could have been 21. I'm not entirely sure when they had the, they started putting all the Hot in the Shade merchandise. So here is that tee. If you've been following the podcast long enough, you know that this is a top tier album for me. Currently, it is number 2 on my Kiss list. The very first Kiss album I ever purchased. I don't know how I forgot this. This is in my everyday tee drawer, which you would have thought when you get ready to see that section. I look really weird like Paul, like in Phantom of the Park. I'm just holding my hands up in my battle stance. So I should have remembered this was missing from my everyday tee. It was in a pile of other clothes that I must have worn it, and it fell behind something. So that's one shirt. And then I forgot I had this one. I really liked this. This one came out in 2001 as part of their Halloween stuff. They re-put it up again in 2000. Maybe it was 2002. And I actually, no, correct me. Let's rewind that, Rob. Came out in 2002. And I think I ended up buying it in 2003. It is their Halloween shirt, the Creatures of the Night. Well, Screaming in the Darkness, Creatures of the Night, with Eric and Tommy. I know. But as you will find out in this video, you'll probably see a lot of Eric and Tommy, and you'll see why. But so yeah, this is another one I got. I like to wear this at Halloween time. I like the colors of it with the orange. That was kind of what they were doing. This could have been 2001. Clearly, I don't know. And clearly, I didn't remember that I had this, and it's only a couple years old. Nothing on the back of either of those two shirts that I just showed. So, okay. That should be it. It's probably not. I don't think there'll be another edit here, but now let's get to the video, and I'll probably chime in again. So here we go. Here's the video that I previously shot, and so you can fit in those other shirts wherever you deem to see fit. So anyway, I'm blathering here. Here is RBTE Rob's Tees. All right, here is the first Kiss shirt that I ever bought. I still have it. I got it back in 1989 when I was a freshman in high school. It is the Creatures of the Night shirt. I really wanted something with Eric Carr when I had first discovered the band with Hot in the Shade, and once I realized he had his own makeup. And Creatures of the Night was my second album I ever bought, so I had to get it. And also at the time that I bought it in 1985, it was a no makeup cover with Bruce Kulick on it. So again, once I realized that there was an alternate version of Creatures of the Night, didn't realize there was an original version of Creatures of the Night. Once I saw that photo, I had to try and track this shirt down. This is from a magazine, and I want to say it was like Metal Edge or Hit Parade or one of those magazines. And if I can find the information, I'll put it down here somewhere. But I think it was called Rockabilia or Rockabilia, like memorabilia, but Rockabilia. So I don't know if this was an official shirt back in 1980. 88, 87 when I bought this shirt, but they had a lot of concert t-shirts. And the other thing that I thought was cool, which I'm pretty sure this is a bootleg from that company, but the other part of the shirt that I thought was cool as that it has the Unmasked era tour with Eric Carr on it. That classic pose. This thing is so thin, and you can't even see the tag
anymore. I think it says it's a large, but just with the camera light kind of showing through it and the light from the room, you could see how thin this is. You could see some of the pictures in the back, but I've kept it all these years. Again, I know it's probably not official, but my first Kiss t-shirt. Grab a sandwich. This is going to be a long video as I have a lot of shirts, so thank you to Brant for doing your video, and it's probably going to dwarf his. So let's go down memory lane and you will see all the various Kiss shirts that I own in my collection. Here we go. Okay, these next shirts are going to be in no particular order. These are shirts that I can't wear anymore, or were given to me as a gift that were the wrong size, or I'm older now and I don't fit into these shirts, or for whatever reason. So these are in no particular order. I'm not 100% sure where I got this shirt from, but what I think this was back in 2009 when I was ordering a Kiss program. I don't know if it was for the hottest show on earth or one of the other programs in between 2009 to 2010, somewhere around in there. And the program kept coming bent and damaged from Kiss Online. So they ended up sending me a free shirt, and this was the shirt that I got, which it appears to be a very older Kiss Online design. There you see the old Kiss Online logo. So this could have been an era 2001 shirt. It's a large. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure how I got it. This was something I didn't pay for. This wasn't a gift. I know this came from Kiss Online, but I think it was due to a shipment error, and they sent a shirt because I had got 3 versions of a tour program. They let me keep 2 of them until I finally got an actual one, but the very first one I had to send back. So that's the long story for this Kiss Online shirt. This was one I got as a gift from some high school students. I was their drummer for their swing choir in 2009, and one of the girls there knew I was a Kiss fan, one of the students, and as a end of the year, she was a senior, she got me this cool Kiss t-shirt for Destroyer, which at the time, I don't think there's official Kiss logo on it. It was a large, so I was only able to wear this just for a little bit. And, sometimes getting some of these shirts, they shrink a little bit. And I think she got this from Spencer's Gifts, if I remember correctly. But there is all of the, songs or whatever from Destroyer. Really kind of a cool shirt. I used to wear this quite a bit, but over time, as you get older, maybe get a little bigger or whatever. And then you washing some of these, they just tended to shrink a little bit. But a really cool shirt, and this was a Spencer's Gifts shirt. All right, we're moving into this section. These are my everyday drawer t-shirts, the different t-shirts that I would wear on podcasts or just out and about. So there are some, more modern day stuff and just things that I've gotten recently that I tend to wear more than my concert t-shirts. All the concert t-shirts will be in the back half of this video. So of course, this is the 1977 Marvel Kiss comic, and I'm more of a DC Comics guy, Batman, Robin, Superman, Aquaman, all that. But of course, I love the Marvel heroes as well. And again, such an iconic Kiss thing. It's really hard to pass up. I got this at Kohl's. They 2 years ago, this is 23, so 21, maybe 22, maybe as early as 22. They had a line of the Marvel Comics shirts, and I wanted to get a couple more, and if I could only get one, this is the one I wanted to get. Of course, we got the Marvel superheroes. We've got Black Panther, the Hulk, Silver Surfer, and then Wolverine with the Star Child, Spaceman, Demon, and Catman. Very cool shirt. This was another Kohl's t-shirt. And some of you may not know who Kohl's is. It's a department store. They're throughout most of the United States. But again, what drew my eyes right away to this is, of course, Eric Singer, and then, of course, Tommy Thayer's in here. So it is very rare to find Eric Singer and Tommy Thayer stuff in department stores or in places where not at a concert to get, band accurate shirts. But this was really cool. And I love wearing this shirt. I think I've wore this shirt quite a bit on the video side of our podcast. But the bottom says Star Tile, Demon, Spaceman, Catman. Very cool shirt. This is a la the Monster Tour and a little bit of Tommy Thayer. I'm trying to remember if that's his Sonic Boom a little bit. But anyway, just a very cool Kiss t-shirt. I love the colors and the red accents. Very cool. Next in the everyday tee is the 10th anniversary Creatures of the Night tour shirt, if I could say that right. This is from Kiss Online. This is before the 40th anniversary. This was a couple years ago when they produced these. It would have been cool to have Vinnie Vincent on it. I know that some of the shirts did, so that's a really cool look there. The classic album cover. And then the back with the tank, the 10th anniversary. And this is from like their premium line. And there was I don't know if you can see this, but there is a nice write-up in here. I'll try and get it so you could kind of pause. You wanted the best, you got the best. The shirt artwork is I'm not going to read all that there. But I mean, far as having something, the 56 date tour was drummer Eric Carr's first American tour. So, there's some really cool facts about this. The Kiss collection right there. So this information, while no one ever really sees this. It's under license from Epic Rights. It's on the inside of the shirt, which is really kind of unique. I know there was maybe a Hot in the Shade shirt and maybe even a Love Gun shirt that came with this Kiss limited edition thing. That would have been kind of cool to have it on the back of the shirt somewhere. But this is also a very heavy shirt as well. So I don't wear this in the summertime much. This is more of a winter shirt with maybe a long sleeve tee or under a hoodie or something like this. But another one of my favorite shirts, and this is in my everyday drawer, maybe my everyday winter drawer. And keeping in with the Creatures theme, this is the Creatures of the Night 40th anniversary shirt. And I got this along with the box set for Creatures of the Night. And the colors are a little skewed, and the story behind this, again, this is an official shirt. I know Brant showed some that didn't have an official Kiss logo on it, but this one does. This is a reprint of a bootleg that was sold at some venues on the Creatures of the Night tour. So in going for the full, 40th anniversary of Creatures of the Night, they found this cool looking bootleg shirt that was unofficial, and then Kiss decided to make it now an official shirt. So that's why the font's a little different. You got this, almost Mexican-ish type logo, which I think this was probably done around Rio or something like that. Somebody could correct me if I'm wrong. But Tom Germain, I believe, did the artwork on this one as far as finding the original, bootleg version of it. And I believe this is two-sided. Nope, this is only one-sided. And then there is just some, cotton washing, but it's very rare to find a full Kiss logo. And this one I got as a 3X for whatever reason. I don't know. Normally I would wear extra large or maybe 2X to have a little bit more room, but I must have hit 3X, and that's just how this shirt came. So this is a rather large shirt, something that I wear during the wintertime. Don't know why I hit 3X. Not sure. So there is Creatures of the Night 40th anniversary shirt. Pretty simple shirt here. I'm not sure of the origin of this shirt, and this is from my good friend Xander over at Kiss Army Things. He was wearing this shirt in one of his videos, and we don't have... Xander will probably have to comment down here where the shirt is exactly from. And I had just commented, oh, that's such a really cool shirt. Again, how many times do you see Eric Carr on a makeup shirt? Maybe in this video, you've now seen it twice already. But as far as something you can buy out in public, and just a cool, very simple black and white, no other color in there, but just having Eric Carr on it was so cool. And I just asked, where he picked this up from, and he was so kind to go out and go get one for me. So I love wearing this shirt when we do podcasts. Thank you. All right, we're into one of my first Walmart shirts here. This is one of the first ones in the last year that Walmart started doing. I missed the kind of tie-dye-ish version that they have, but this one I kind of sat on for a little bit. As you'll see, I don't have a whole lot of the original lineup shirts. Again, for me, Rob, I'm more of an 80s, 90s or whatever. But this is just really cool, really iconic. The Love Gun, famous artwork that we've seen. And I like some of the liberties that they took, adding in red in Paul and Jean and just that red distressed logo. And then there's the Kiss logo up here for the, machine washing and all that stuff. Most typical Kiss official shirts don't. So I don't know why they don't do that for theirs other than a couple that I've shown here. So this is cool. You'll see a few Walmart shirts pop up here, and I do have the most recent, and I'll show that later in the run. Or maybe since I'm on a Walmart kick right now, we'll just go right to the next Walmart shirt that I've got. Okay, here's what I would call the Walmart shirt that got some people's panties in a bunch. This is it's one I was actually currently wearing. I took off and realized, hey, I'm wearing a Kiss shirt as I'm shooting this video. So this is a sleeveless tee, and there's a couple others. There might be other bands like Bon Jovi and Styx maybe have a sleeveless tee, Sublime. And then there's this Kiss one. So you can see at the bottom, it says New York City, 1977, live in concert. And that is clearly Tommy Thayer and Eric Singer. So, of course, from watching our channel, huge Eric Singer fan. So this was an instant buy. Like, hey, I can find Eric Singer on a Kiss t-shirt in Walmart. That is probably just clearly a sign of somebody not realizing that is not the same lineup. It is officially licensed by Kiss. Somebody had to sign off on this thing, but I don't think it's Gene and Paul. I think it's somebody in the Kiss organization, and they probably just really quickly saw the artwork and were like, yep, that looks good. 77, sure, great. Print it, send it out to Walmart, and then boom, there we go. So I like it just simply for the fact that it's Eric Singer. And then, most people probably won't even realize that that's not the same year or even who the band members are. But hey, we're not going to get into that. This is just fun of collecting Kiss t-shirts. So now this is the third Walmart shirt that I've seen, that I have picked up. This is one that's got some people really excited just because the coloring of this, rather than they could have very easily just done a Destroyer shirt and we all would have liked it. But this purplish and pea green and yellows and turquoises is just such an interesting color. I think Xander pointed out that is the Monster magazine logo from 2012. If I remember correctly, I don't have the magazine really close at hand, but this is a cool shirt for $8. I still have this tag on it. Nothing on the back. Again, the Kiss logo there, but really cool. I would like them to go a little bit deeper. If they're going to continue to do Kiss t-shirts at Walmart, how cool would it be to get Dynasty in something like this, or heck, an Unmasked. I've seen in the girls section that there is a Hot in the Shade shirt. I would love a Hot in the Shade shirt. Again, taking some liberties with the colors. This is really, really cool. Can't go wrong for an everyday Kiss t-shirt for $8, $9, I think, with tax or whatever. Just very cool. Now, this is a fun shirt. Some of you may get it, some of you may not. This is I guess you could call it a bootleg. This is a custom shirt. So the Kiss Cruise in Kiss Cruise 11, just a couple years ago, or maybe just even last year, if I'm getting my dates correct here, Paul Stanley was doing Paul Stanley's Pizza. I think in Kiss Cruise 10, he was doing his own pizza thing, and then decided that following year, hey, let's try and do it official. So this is the artwork that was used on the pizza boxes that they were giving out on the ship. And then the guys at Repro Tees, who do our shirts for the podcast through virtual merch booths, I'm trying to remember words here, came up with this shirt rather quickly. Kisstory at Sea, and they took the pizza box logo and put it on a shirt. That is fan-friggin-tastic. I love wearing this shirt, and is a shirt that not very many people have at all. So you can go find it on Repro Tees. They got some really cool, unique Kiss designs. So this is one of my favorites to wear, and I wear it on the podcast, especially when we do video ones. So this is a very cool one. Well, I finally made it official the end of last year and signed up for the KISS Army. And in June of this year in 23, they finally released the new 2023 KISS Army t-shirts. When I put in the order, it was the previous year, and I was really wanting that one because, again, it had Eric Singer, Tommy Thayer, version of KISS. After I got this shirt, I was kind of like, oh, I really wanted that other one. I don't have anything unmasked. I was talking about it was unmasked, and the fact that they use the unmasked logo as part of their KISS Army shirts, I have really grown to really like this shirt, and it went into my everyday drawer, and it's one that I like quite a bit. And some people go, whoa, that's a really interesting shirt, and I'm able to say, oh, I got it from KISS Online. I'm an official KISS Army member, so you'd figure, the better part of 30 plus years being a KISS fan, I finally made it official. So I'm very happy with this shirt, and I'm glad this is the one for 2023. All right, we're moving into concert t-shirt territory and also chronological territory. So 90% of these are all concert t-shirts, and then I haven't decided what to do with some of them, like, oh, this is from the Revenge era, or this was from the Farewell Tour, or this is from such and such. I just kind of put them intermixed with them, and you'll see them the next one. But this is the very first concert t-shirt I ever got, November 27th, 1992, at Savage Hall in Toledo, Ohio. It is, of course, the Revenge Tour t-shirt. This was the first shirt up on the wall. It was the one my eyes gravitated to. I love this pose for the band. My best friend, he had gotten a different shirt. I have another shirt that I bought my girlfriend at the time. Instead of getting the tour program, which I'm kicking myself for not doing, I did get that shirt back, and I don't know where it is. I have it in my possession somewhere, but I couldn't find it at the time for this video. Maybe I'll put up an image of it somewhere. But yeah, I wore this shirt like crazy. It's got the, album cover-esque image on the back of it. As you can see, it's really kind of thin like that Creature shirt was. The guys at Repro Tees reproduced this shirt, so I'm going to, probably here in the next week or so, I'm going to go repurchase this shirt from Repro Tees so I can start wearing this one again. But this is my favorite image of the Revenge lineup, and I love this shirt. It just takes me back to that very first time seeing KISS, which is why this will always be my favorite lineup of the band. All right, so this is still keeping in chronological order of the era. This is the 30th anniversary shirt from KISS Online that was packaged with the Revenge shirt. There was a couple other ones. Again, I was really hoping they were going to reproduce that last one that I just showed and have some image of Bruce and Eric on a t-shirt. This is cool with the Statue of Liberty. It's got the skulls. Those skulls are represented in that other shirt, hopefully, that I found, or at least I put that stock image up. A two-sided shirt from KISS Online. And I think there's one of the shirts from the 30th anniversary that does have the Revenge era lineup photo in it, but they're offset very oddly in the KISS. But another cool shirt. I think this might go into one of my everyday drawer shirts, but it's currently hanging in my closet in chronological order. KISS MTV Unplugged. Now, I want to say this is an official shirt. I saw it at a record store, or you might call it a head shop or whatever. So it's 50-50 whether I think this is an official shirt or not. Again, there's no KISS logo on it, but it came out right as the album was released. I saw this in a record store, so I have to believe it was official. And I think even down here at the bottom it may say KISS catalog. So yeah, I know somebody could print that on there, but I'm almost 100% positive this is an official shirt. And I sometimes still wear this on the podcast. It is a little small, but you're only seeing it from, probably this portion of the shirt up. But every once in a while, like a lot of my KISS shirts, I usually wear maybe on the podcast, so I don't wear them a lot. My everyday shirts that you saw in the beginning, I would typically wear those, obviously every day, but these shirts I usually wear for special events and they don't get washed a lot. Not saying like, oh, I haven't washed this shirt since 1996. No, it has been, but you know what I mean. If I'm only wearing it for an hour or so here or there, I haven't done much in it. I'm talking about laundry stuff. You don't care. Let's move on. Nothing on the back, just this shirt. All right. This is one of my favorite shirts, my favorite lineup, my favorite era, the Revenge Alive 3 Carnival of Souls MTV Unplugged lineup of Paul Stanley, Eric Singer, Gene Simmons, and Bruce Kulick. This one, I'm really shocked that this even exists, that the band even acknowledged it to decide to do a Carnival of Souls t-shirt. What this actually was, in I believe in 2022, probably even 2021, they decided to do some German pressings of albums, and it was a smattering. There was a Revenge, Carnival of Souls, and The Elder, and maybe The First Kiss, Animalize, and just wasn't the whole entire catalog, but part of the deal was that they had a corresponding shirt for the albums the vinyl albums that they had on there. I didn't have a pressing of Carnival of Souls with the German logo. And originally I was just going to get the t-shirt. My wife's like, well, if you're going to get one, why don't you get both? So the fact that I have the German pressing for Carnival of Souls with the Z's and then the t-shirt, which this is just so cool. Being a Kiss fan and knowing that there's a Carnival of Souls t-shirt that was officially licensed by the band with the album covers, just really, really cool and just depicts one of my favorite eras of the band. So this was one I wear a lot. And it's a lot easy to sometimes, slip in a non-makeup t-shirt and kind of walk about where you don't have all the makeup going, it's Kiss or whatever. But this is really cool. I love this shirt. And here we are. The Kiss Alive Worldwide 1996-97 World Tour shirt. Got this at Tiger Stadium. I'm kicking myself for not getting the Tiger Stadium specific shirt. I really wish I would have now, but I wanted a current version, a modern day version of the band in 1996 on the shirt rather than the Destroyer logo, but the back of the Tiger Stadium t-shirt did have Tiger Stadium on it, where it says Kiss Destroys Tiger Stadium. I wish I could go back in time now and tell myself to get that shirt, but you'll see the next shirt that I got, I replicated that kind of, but you see what I mean. So at Tiger Stadium, I love this shirt. When I was playing in my bands back in the late 90s, I was wearing this shirt quite a bit along with my Revenge shirt. I wanted the best. I got the best. Man, I'll never forget that Tiger Stadium show. That was the second Kiss show I ever saw, Revenge being the first. But being in Tiger Stadium, also being a Detroit Tigers fan, it was so surreal being in that ballpark. And then there are our heroes on stage. I love this shirt. In 1997, I saw Kiss again in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And little did I know, some 26 years later, that Nick Caruso from this very podcast was at that exact same show, but of course we didn't know each other back then. So this was the front of the shirt, pretty much how it was in Tiger Stadium. There was, some more worldwide, stuff on there. So I thought, well, I don't want the Destroyer logo. I wanted something with the current band. So in 96 in Fort Wayne, when I saw this shirt, I thought, well, it'll be kind of like getting that. And then it does have the Alive Worldwide tour dates for 97, and trying to find the Fort Wayne show. There we are down here, still early on in that show. So we talked about going to the Toledo show right there, but we ended up skipping it. I kind of wish we would have, but just being a couple years out of high school, money was tight. So going somewhere else to go see Kiss in Fort Wayne of that year was really kind of cool. So there is my Fort Wayne reunion tour t-shirt. Now, sticking with chronologically here, of course, two of my favorite members, being Eric Singer and Bruce Kulick, left the band in 96 to do their own things. Right in 96, I think, depending sometimes how I have this hung, this is before my reunion tour t-shirts, is Eric Singer's All Access to Drumming. So he put out a VHS, and I ordered the VHS, the instructional video, and I got this shirt at the exact same time. And as you could tell, this shirt has had a lot of love, a lot of wear. This was one of my main concert shirts or when I was playing in my rock bands, I wore this very, very much. You can see just how worn and how beat up it is. I almost kind of really like it like that. I would almost like this reproduced, looking almost kind of this quote unquote bad. It gives it that vintage worn look, and it is, like you could tell. I wore this thing to death. I absolutely love this shirt. So anytime that I saw Eric Singer play with Alice Cooper or go to Kiss conventions, I was usually always wearing this shirt. And then I went to a Kiss convention later in '97 and found this one at his merch table. So this is one I wore recently to Dayton, Ohio, that I thought was going to be my last Kiss concert with Xander from Kiss Army Things. So I told him, like, hey, I'm the guy that's going to be in this Eric Singer shirt. And I got recognized at the VIP, at least not recognized, but Keith LaRue saw me in this shirt. He goes, whoa, that's an old Eric Singer shirt. He says, where'd you get that? I said, well, I got it at a Kiss convention. It was probably 2007, maybe. It could be 2004. I'm not entirely sure what Kiss convention I was at. It could have been maybe even 6, but Eric was there. I bought the shirt, and I liked this one because I'd wore the other one so much. And he did a couple different versions of this. Again, nothing on the back, but I do want to get this one reproduced because, being a big Eric Singer fan, I would like to wear this. It's really kind of tight now, being this is just I believe it's an extra large. Yeah, it's an extra large. And I wore it, it was shrunk, and I probably would have not dried it and laid it out to dry. But anyway, I love this shirt. And keeping in with the theme of Eric Singer and Bruce Kulick, this is Union. This is Bruce Kulick's band after Kiss with John Corabi, ex of Motley Crue, and Jamie Huntington on bass, and current Bruce Kulick solo band drummer Brett Fitz, who's playing on with countless other people as well. I cannot recommend Union enough. If you've not heard Union, you need to go check out Bruce's band. Union with John Corabi is just a fantastic album. They just got lost in that late 80s, early 2000s shuffle, and they just weren't given their proper due. So they, as far as I know, they only had a shirt for their first album, their first tour. So very cool. And this is one I wear from time to time on the podcast as well. But it's, kind of seen, I'd say better days, but it's, one of those shirts just don't hold up over the wear and tear. So a lot of these shirts hang in the closet, and I only really wear them for podcasting, not much out in public anymore. So this is one from the farewell tour, and this is not the current shirt that you can buy on Kiss Online, which I want to get this one and have. They only had done a few of these for Japan, and this was at a Kiss Expo. Had to be 2002. I think Eric was there at that time. So I don't know if these were leftovers from Japan or whatever, but as official as far as my knowledge, because again, you can buy this current shirt on Kiss Online. So I don't know if this is like that Creature shirt where it was a bootleg, but I think they did a quick turnaround to take this photo shoot with Eric Singer when he first put the makeup on, and sold in Japan in Australia. And I know I got it at a Kiss Expo, which, could have been dicey at that time, but this was another one I wore to death. It's a little small. I think at the time all they had was large, yeah. So this is another one I want to re-get from Kiss Online so I could wear this, and I loved it, and I just thought it was so cool seeing Eric in makeup. I know people have their thoughts and opinions about it, but I love this shirt, and that off the soundboard, when they showed this shirt, I was like, hey, I actually own this shirt. So I thought they were going to reproduce a lot of those concert tees. And continuing on with the theme here, I know this isn't a t-shirt. This is almost one of those bowling shirts here. I got this at the same Kiss Expo in Fort Wayne, or Indianapolis rather, the Indy Expo. And as you can see here, there's Eric Singer from that photo shoot in the tour program with 1975, 76 actually a 77, 76 Destroyer and Rock and Roll Over era costumes, and with Eric Singer. So this is one of those times that they were trying to come up with merchandise and put Eric Singer on to be able to, to sell some more stuff with the current lineup. I just think it's funny that they chose, 77, 76 era Kiss and not just reused those same photos from the farewell tour and slapped us on it. I think that would have worked really well. So it's a really kind of jarring photo to look at and go, these are all live shots-esque from the rest of the band, but Eric's is that stock photo. And it's the same on the back. I've actually thought about maybe wearing this to Rosemont and to not have it buttoned up since it'll be in November. I don't know if I will. I've thought about wearing it on the podcast sometimes, but I couldn't pass this up when I got that farewell tour t-shirt with Eric, and then I saw this just on the next rack. I don't even know. As you can tell, it's an official Kiss logo up there, so it was sold by the company, but just a fun shirt and one that I wear. I used to wear quite a bit. All right, here we are back to the concert t-shirts, and this is the 2003 World Domination Tour. So after the symphony that the promoters wanted at least three-fourths of the original Kiss to go out on this Aerosmith tour. When Ace Frehley wouldn't join, they decided on, let's see if Peter wants to come back. That means Eric had to step back out of the band, and Tommy Thayer came in, and this was this tour. This is probably the least favorite tour, not just because Eric Singer wasn't there. The songs were just slow and plodding. I think Peter was back to his not getting along with Paul and Gene, and then how he felt about Tommy Thayer. And you could kind of tell it on stage. For me, the night that I saw them, Aerosmith was clearly the better band that night. I mean, Kiss sounded great, but all of my friends were like, why are they playing all these songs so slow? And I was like, I just really think it's because of Peter. So not trying to Peter bash here. It's just me showing my Kiss shirts. But this was a cool tour. I did like it. Saw them in Columbus, Ohio, right there. So the only time I saw them on this tour. But again, one of those rare Kiss lineups that didn't last very long. But I wore this shirt quite a bit too. And I bet I haven't worn it other than maybe that first year of this tour until 2004. And here we are, the current lineup and the longest lasting lineup. If you want to count that little brief moment in 2002 where Eric and Tommy were on the Dick Clark special, and I think there was another performance, that 70s show, and then you had Peter coming back for 03. But basically for the better part of 20 years, we have the Rock the Nation lineup and is existing today. This was the first tour that I saw. I was so excited, and it's also very cool that I have this exact drum in my collection signed by Eric, so this makes the shirt even really cooler that, hey, I have that drum. But to be able to see Eric back in the band and just, you talk about the set list being the same from show to show. This was one of the last tours where the set list was changing nightly, maybe not 100%, but things were sliding in and out and being in different places. The last time we would really hear Unholy was on this tour. Again, this probably from Revenge, this is one of my next favorite tours just because of the set list, and, Kiss was supposed to be retiring and all that stuff, but Gene and Paul wanted to keep going, and I'm so glad because here we are in 2023 still talking about it. And I love this shirt. I got the shirt, poster, tour book, anything I could get my hands on in this tour. So this shirt I got, I'm trying to remember the order of the show that I saw them. I believe this was the Detroit show, or was this Columbus? Yeah, this is Columbus, or Detroit was first. So I bought this the first time I saw them. I went to this very first show myself, and then with some friends later, a few weeks later, in Columbus, Ohio, I bought my next shirt from this tour. And here's my second 2004 Rock the Nation Tour t-shirt. Got this in Columbus, Ohio, and it was really cool to hear different set lists. I thought the set lists were going to be same through the whole tour, so I was like, whoa, they are playing, in fact, different songs, and they was just a few weeks apart from when I saw them. And this is another shirt that I wore a lot. The other shirt that I just saw, the main shirt, I didn't wear that one a lot because some of my shirts, I thought it was so cool, I don't want to wear it out, but I wish I would have wore that first shirt a little bit more than I did. But this was another one that I just wore constantly, and it's held up, 20 some odd years later, and here we are. So, this was at that show. There's the Columbus, Ohio right there, and there's the Detroit show that I saw them at. So that they were having multiple versions of shirts, which I knew they did at every show, but that's just something cool for us Kiss fans. So another one of my favorite shirts. I think I say that a lot. Now, this one is cool for another reason. This one was available on the Rock the Nation tour that I remember seeing there in the red. But this shirt is from 2005 at a one-off show in Columbus, Ohio in 2005. Honda had Honda Day, and they brought in Rascal Flatts in Columbus, Ohio at the Schottenstein Center in the afternoon, and in the evening, the Honda Corporation brought in Kiss. And a friend of mine said, hey, do you want to go see Kiss in concert tonight? And I said, dude, they're not on tour. The tour wrapped up, late 2004, and it was summertime. He's like, seriously, do you want to go see Kiss in concert tonight? I was like, dude, they are not in concert. He goes, they are in concert tonight. I said, I guarantee you, Eric Singer is with Alice Cooper. He just played a show 2 nights ago. He says, dude, all I'm telling you is Kiss is going to be in concert tonight. I said, are you sure it's not a Kiss tribute band? So I ended up taking off work and all the way down to Columbus. I was like, we're just going to see a tribute band. He was showing me these wristbands, Honda Fest. That's all it said. And I was like, dude, seriously. I was like, all right, I'll go on with it. We get to the Schottenstein Center, this huge place in Columbus. I'm like, what in the world is going on? There's people in Kiss makeup. I'm like, this must be a great Kiss tribute band. And we go walking in, there's the merchandise, and I could not believe the Kiss was doing a one-off show. Eric Singer left the Alice Cooper tour, was actually wearing a wig that night. They played just a smattering of songs. It was a full show, but I don't think Unholy was played that night. I think God of Thunder was back in. But you can look up 2005 Schottenstein, Columbus, Ohio, and see footage from this show. So I had to get a shirt to commemorate it. It's just the 2004 dates on the back of it. The last show was in Mexico, but apparently there was one more show, family-only event, and my good friend, his sister, couldn't go, so she gave her family passes to her brother and myself, and we went and saw Kiss in 2005 at a private show. That's really kind of cool. This shirt I always liked. This is from the Hit and Run tour of 2006 that the band did over in Japan, a tour of Japan, just a few shows. Osaka and Tokyo, Nagoya, and Fukuoka, if I'm even saying that correctly, probably not. Again, what attracted me to this shirt is that Eric Singer holding my drum. There it is. So this was really cool. This was something I bought off Kiss Online. Of course, I didn't go see this show, but here we were in 2006, 6 years after the farewell tour is over, and Kiss is still continuing to play. No Sonic Boom, no Monster yet. I really wish they would have toyed with recording back then. Who knows what we might have gotten. But it is a concert t-shirt, one that I wasn't at, and I actually wore this shirt the last time I met Eric Singer, where I had him sign this very drum. So I'll try and post an image of me wearing this shirt with Eric Singer and his drum. Right here is, I've been saying with a lot of shirts, this is one of my favorites. This is one of my top favorite shirts. Something were to happen, I had to run out of the house, the Revenge shirt, and this one would definitely come by. This is the Alive 35, this start of what would become the Sonic Boom tour, and where they were just starting to play Modern Day Delilah. What makes this really cool, this was May 26th, I believe, at Cobo Hall. The final show at Cobo Hall ever, of course, was done by Kiss. So this was one of those bucket list venues of being able to say, I was in Cobo Hall I got to see Kiss in the very spot where they recorded Kiss Alive. It was just such a cool experience, and was my wife's very first Kiss concert. So I was getting to show her Kiss live, and just being in that venue just made it really cool. So I had to get this shirt and a signed pair of drumsticks. 2009, September, excuse me, I said May. September 26th, I think I remember that. Just a little bit past our wedding anniversary. Ours is the 15th, so it was kind of a way to celebrate our anniversary. But all of the dates that Kiss ever played, Cobo Hall, and ending on there. So we talked about the 25th, but seeing the final show on the 26th just made it really cool. They made an announcement from the stage that they were going to film this for video, and the video has never surfaced. So Loomis, where are you at? Where's that footage? But I love this shirt. I absolutely love this shirt. A little break from the concert tour t-shirts. This kind of fits in there, but Sonic Boom. I got this at the Walmart, at the Kiss corner in Walmart. So I picked up my CD, my bag of M&Ms, and this Sonic Boom t-shirt, which I've wore this a couple times recently on the podcast. I usually with my good buddy Xander when I'm on his show, when we talk Sonic Boom, and I've wore it a couple times recently. We did our Sonic Monsters on Brant's channel. I know this is a mixed bag for some Kiss fans, but I love this album, and I really like Monster. So this was and it was so cool to see new Kiss merchandise in a store that you could go and buy, and there was a new Kiss album. You couldn't have read a better book in 2009 telling me that there's going to be a new Kiss album, and I'm going to be able to purchase it and get a t-shirt at Walmart. Awesome. So here is one of my wife's t-shirts that she had grandfathered me into when we went to go to her first Kiss concert. She's like, well, I need a Kiss t-shirt. So this was another one of those Walmart t-shirts that you could pick up. And we went looking through stuff, and she saw this one, and Jean has always kind of been a member of the band that she's liked. So recently she's like, I don't really wear Kiss t-shirts much. So she gave it to me, and from time to time I will wear this. I haven't worn this on the podcast yet, but I haven't seen too many people with this one, but this was also available at Walmart for a very short time. So very, very cool. And here we go with the Hottest Show on Earth tour, which is a continuation of the Sonic Boom tour. And I liked this one quite a bit as well. I mean, of course, you buy it, I like it. For me, I kind of wish Eric and Tommy were up top, but I get it. Yeah, it was just so cool. We saw the Cobo Hall show a year later in 2010. We went and saw Kiss again in Clarkston, Michigan. Gone was the Columbus shows being outside, as that Columbus venue is now a parking lot for a mall. But again, in 2010, we are still seeing Kiss. It's part of the Alive 35 tour, but this was kind of a leftover from the Alive 35 tour. And some of the Hottest Show on Earth t-shirts, I wanted something a little different, and this one kind of really spoke to me. Even though it was still Alive 35, I kind of skipped the Hottest Show on Earth tour shirts for this, but it was at that very show. And this is where the gap in my Kiss t-shirts takes place. We took a little break from concerts where we were seeing Kiss concerts every couple years. So when Monster came out, the 40th anniversary tour, I wish I would have gone to go see those shows, but we saw other shows instead. So I'm going to fill in this one really quick here. This is a bootleg Kiss Cruise shirt from Kiss Cruise 10 that I found on eBay, and this was right before the pandemic hit, so the dates I think had changed. They had to kind of redo the tour and all that stuff. So it is printed on both sides, and I do wear this one from quite a bit. As you see, the dates are all wrong here. It said 6th Man. So if it wasn't a bootleg shirt and it was shirts that they had printed up and they're like, well, we can't use them now and can't sell them on the boat because they're incorrect. So I haven't seen what the actual tags look like. So if anybody has this Kiss Cruise shirt, I'd be curious to know if it's made by this if it's the same t-shirt company, or if this is just a straight up bootleg and somebody was just trying to make money off of it. But I liked it. I thought it was cool, and it was a really fairly cheap. And I love these images of Tommy and Eric here with Gene and Paul. I just wish they were a little bit bigger like Paul and Gene, but I get it. And speaking of the pandemic and right around that time, Bruce Kulick was starting to put out some new merchandise on his website. So his famous swirl guitar is done in a mosaic to represent his face. And I bought this, right around the same time as the Kiss Cruise shirt. And again, being huge fans of Bruce Kulick and Eric Singer both, to me, this was a no-brainer of a shirt. Such a cool idea. And this is a shirt I've worn on the podcast a couple times. And just even out in public, it's one of my everyday type of shirts that I wear, and it always gets a comment of like, "Oh, who's that?" And I say, "Oh, it's Bruce Kulick from Kiss." And some people know, but those that do know or don't know are like, "Oh, okay." But the ones that really do know think it's a very cool shirt. I think, don't quote me on it, I think you can still get this on Bruce Kulick's website, brucekulick.com. So very cool shirt. And here we are to the end. So this is the shirt that I got when the pandemic hit. My show for Clarkston, Michigan was in the latter part of the tour for the end of the road. Got tickets from my mother as a Christmas gift. She's like, the better part of 30 years, you were always wanting me to get you Kiss tickets when you were a kid growing up. And I always said no. And she goes, "Well, the band is ending." She goes, "I'm not going to get into the Mother Hall of Fame if I don't buy you Kiss tickets at least once in your life." So we were so excited. And then the pandemic hit. And I thought, I'm going to miss my opportunity to see Kiss. They're going to cancel the tour. And if they ever start again, they may have just ended it right at the last show that they did. So I decided, you know what? I want to at least get a shirt that I was this close to seeing the band one last time after having not seen them since 2010. It really pained me to not see those shows in between. I've even thought about getting a t-shirt from the couple of those other shows that I missed. So I had to get something. So I got the tour book and I got this shirt, which I really liked. And there was always that back of my mind that maybe they'll restart it after they figure this whole pandemic out. So this one says it's a 2X, but it is incredibly large. It hangs, it's really baggy. I feel like it is a 3X shirt all day long. So this is kind of one of my winter shirts that I wear. Of course, the summertime, I'm not wearing this, but we were supposed to see them in September of that year. So here is the original dates from the end of the road tour before it became what it has become here in 2023. So you can see the February 1st show in Manchester as far as the United States dates go, where we know they were in Canada, the very first start of a tour, but I believe these were the U.S. shows. And they're Clarkston, Michigan, September 11th, 2019 was supposed to be our year to go see them. And of course, we know that didn't happen. So what ended up happening after that? Well, let's go on a t-shirt journey and see how many shirts and how many times I have seen this band. So here's a shirt, but didn't see them on this particular one until... So when the tour finally started back up after being off almost 2 years, when it started back up, they added a few new dates. So they added a Toledo, Ohio show to the tour, came out with some new merchandise, and the new re-advised tour dates started again. So there's Toledo, Ohio, the fourth show restarting the tour, and then the problems right after Toledo getting into Pennsylvania. Paul and Gene both get COVID here, and then all of these tour dates get all jacked up, and unfortunate Fran would lose his life due to COVID, and that would kind of start things going all awry, which it filters into the story a little bit later as far as concerts and availability. So I thought, well, I'll get to see Kiss. I'll squeeze in one more show before our Clarkston, Michigan show. So let's go to the next concert. So there is show number 1. Okay, kind of show number 2. So I decided to get this shirt after having seen the band. So the shirt that I bought is coming up next at the Clarkston, Michigan show. I really wanted this shirt, and I was having a hard time of getting this particular Toledo shirt. In Toledo is the specific venue shirt, Clarkston, Shout It Out Loud, End of the Road tour. So Kiss partnered up with Amazon and started selling tour t-shirts before the concert. So I actually bought this a couple months before I actually saw the show, so I could have this one to get. Now, the official from the actual show, if I got the Clarkston one, the image is a lot bigger. So I think for Amazon, they kind of shrunk it a little bit, but still an official merchandise shirt. And I got a venue specific shirt or a city specific shirt for the End of the Road tour like they were doing, because these were selling out at the arenas and I didn't want to miss out. So at the arena, I bought this shirt. And here is the shirt I bought physically at Clarkston, Michigan. My wife's like, you always buy black t-shirts. I'm like, white t-shirts stain so bad. So I have never wore this shirt. I think there's a little piece. I thought it was just actually staying here. You know, they get white or they get tarnished a little bit. So I thought about wearing this on the podcast when it's not 900 degrees in this room like it is right now, so I don't sweat to death in it. I've kind of toyed with wearing this to Chicago when we go see them in Rosemont. Of course, I got to figure out what I'm wearing for that one. But having a Kiss white t-shirt I thought was really cool. So it rained the entire day. We got there early. They had all the merchandise. I got the drum head, Tommy's guitar, this shirt, and a sweatshirt, thinking, all right, this is going to be the last show that I'm going to see, and that's probably going to be it. So I went all out. But right as I bought the merchandise, walked it back to the car, it rained like crazy. It rained the entire show up until I Was Made for Loving You when Paul flied out, and then Do You Love Me and Rock and Roll All Night, end of the night. But we were a soggy, wet mess at the end of that show, and we thought that was our last Kiss concert until, boom, the rescheduling of the Dayton, Ohio show due to the passing of Fran. So when they reconfigured all those cancellation dates and postponements, the End of the Road tour kind of recycled back, and it was going to be in Dayton. That's where I found out Xander was going to go to the show. So I bought a sound check pass. He bought a sound check pass. Met he and Daphne at the show backstage. Eric Singer came back to pick up his new TCB necklace, which was kind of cool. We saw that in the VIP area. That's where I was wearing the purple Eric Singer shirt. So getting to experience my last Kiss concert with Xander and Daphne and the VIP sound check and getting noticed in the Eric Singer t-shirt, I thought, what a better way. Xander and I even toyed with like, well, I don't know if I need another Kiss t-shirt, but these makeup dates were so... When was the last time you saw a Kiss t-shirt with only, let's say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 dates on the back of the shirt? We looked at each other and laughed and said, okay. We both bought the exact same shirt, and that is what I thought was going to be my last Kiss concert shirt. But wait, there's more. And here we are. Columbus, Ohio, Sonic Temple Festival. A 50th anniversary, the final 50 shows t-shirt. Thanks to Xander for hooking me up with Randall. Randall had an extra ticket, took me to this show. He drove all the way from Indiana to Columbus, Ohio, and I got to see Kiss on this current last leg of the tour, when I thought all I was going to get was the Rosemont show. So yes, there is still, and I think I said before that I love the back of this shirt. I wish this was the front of the shirt, and this is what really made me want to pick up the shirt. The front was okay, but it was this back that I thought was so very cool in that 50th anniversary gold, and I think all of the photos of the band look really, really cool. So that is all of my shirts, save one. I don't know where that t-shirt I got for that girlfriend went to, but I thought this would be a nice look at my Kiss concert shirts. And there is one more shirt left to go, and it would not be RBTE if I didn't show this shirt. And here we are, a little bit of self-promotion right between the eyes. You can help out our channel and our podcast by clicking the link below and becoming a member of the RBTE Society. I don't even know if that's a thing or not. But hats, shirts, mugs, and the whole gambit of stuff from right between the eyes. And maybe this will even be one of the shirts I wear to Rosemont to celebrate our podcast. I'm even thinking about doing a Road to Rosemont shirt for those of us that are going. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed looking at all of my Kiss shirts. I didn't even keep count. Maybe as I'm editing, I will put up a total in here somewhere. But on the behalf of Nick and Nico, I'm Rob, and you've been watching Right Between the Eyes podcast with 3 generations of Kiss fans telling you why we love it loud. We'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.